Hello everyone and welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video. I am VAOS and today I'm going to show you something cool. But before we begin, I have a little bit of confession to make. This is actually indeed not 100% stock. What I mean by that is that yes, it is 100% stock, but I do use restock for KSP for the parts. So a lot of the parts look similar, but not quite. They look a little bit better because of restocks reskinning the parts. But the parts themselves are 100% stock, just not the skin. But anyway, we're not talking about the skins of the parts here. You clicked on this video because you saw them delicious looking cargo containers, didn't you? Yeah, I know. Those cargo containers are 100% stock in every sense of the purest form. Why? Because they're just basically flags. Yep. Just flags. So the inspiration for this video was actually based on a lot of things I've seen on sci-fi videos or sci-fi series, like the cargo ships. No one ever talks about the freaking cargo ships. It's always this frigate, this battleship, this fighter, this bomber. It's to the point where you think that the whole sci-fi realm is nothing but warships, but that's simply not the case. In reality, most, and I'm talking about a big most spaceships flying through the solar system would be primarily for logistics, shipping goods, resources, and valuables to different colonies, space stations, bases, and things of this nature. I mean, look at right now. In comparison to how many warships are out there on the ocean, to how many cargo vessels are actually out in the ocean, it dwarfs the amount of warships that were built. There are a crap ton of cargo vessels out there in comparison to anything that has a gun mounted on it. There are more vehicles dedicated to transport on this planet than anything dedicated to war. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. That's because people gotta get places, you know what I mean? People gotta go places. Things gotta go places. Resources gotta go places. If you ain't got nothing coming in, then you can just forget about that damn battleship. Good luck finding the parts floating around to build the sucker. Without logistics, you're out of luck. So in a lot of ways, I don't think that the sci-fi cargo vessels really get the love that they deserve. They are literally the backbone of any space war in any sci-fi series. Now, when making these cargo containers or cargo ships, the first thing you have to build is the cargo container. Cargo ship really isn't a cargo ship without cargo. Okay, so how am I gonna make cargo containers? How am I gonna make cargo? What the fuck? How am I going to make cargo containers in KSP? Because KSP, as we know, doesn't have any cargo containers. And no, cargo bays don't fucking count. The fairings don't count, and no, the service bays don't fucking count. What can you put into a service bay anyway? Literally, what the fuck can you put into a service bay that would be any usefulness at all when it comes to like large scale shipping? I mean, what are you gonna put in there? A small satellite? A probe? A couch? Please. There's more space in the back of a pickup truck. I'm not saying that you don't need cargo bays, because cargo bays are exactly that. Bays that hold cargo, aka cargo containers. Yeah. So how am I gonna go about building one in KSP? Now, yes, I could take a bunch of metal panels and wings, slap them together to make some sort of weird thing going on, but that's I mean, that's okay, I guess, but there's a better way. When KSP introduced flags, they made it so that you could make the flag either just one-dimensional flat plain flag, or you could make it into a three-dimensional flag. Basically, you have to go into your KSP folder, go into game data, go to squad, and find the folder that says flags. You can then proceed to put all kinds of pictures inside this folder, which will be translated over to KSP. Mind you, you have to make sure that you have the right width and length, and if you have too many pixels, it just won't register at all, and you won't see it in there. Best thing to do is to take an existing flag and then just draw whatever you want to draw within that parameter of that existing flag that's already in the flags folder in KSP. That's how you can get your own flags in there. Now, making them, well, you're gonna have to be a little bit of an artiste. I mean, sure, you could download a bunch of stuff from the internet too, that works. But for this project, I wanted to make my own cargo container. Just downloading a bunch of stuff from the internet, yeah, it could have been faster, sure. But where's the fun in that? I wanted something that looked sci-fi, something that was unique, something that for me screamed out space cargo container. I wanted it to be used look, not something that was shiny or brand new. Something that looks like it's seen some mileage. I wanted it to give it some feeling of strength. So I put like something that looked like metal beams in an X pattern to give it that cargo container strength. This cargo container was meant to last a long time. It would pay for itself many times over business-wise before finally being replaced by something new. The program that I was using was Paint 3D. It's something that was downloaded on my computer when I bought Windows 10. And yes, I know about GIMP and PaintNet and all that other good stuff. Stop it! So when I was painting, there are some rules that you have to go by when you try to make something that looks used, especially something that's of a metallic nature. All right, write this down, kids. When painting something of a metallic nature that you want to make it look like it's used, remember that corners, any corners whatsoever, are going to be a high or highly scuffed and impacted area, more prone to chips and cracks and scrapes and dirt collection than any other surface. So when you make something that looks used, focus on the corners. We all know how hard it is to clean out little crevices and corners. They usually don't get the love and attention that they deserve. And so after a while, they get a little nasty. So when painting, give those corners some love. And you might have to go over it a couple times. This is not going to be a one and done deal. The reason for that is that you want to make it look like they attempted to clean it at one point or attempted to paint over it at one point and, you know, just didn't quite get everything. And then over the years, it just built back up and they cleaned it again. It built back up and they cleaned it again. Get that very used feeling. So I would dirty it up and then clean it up and then dirty it up again and then clean it up again. Try to get that natural, well-used look. But just having a metal steel plate wasn't enough. I noticed that a lot of these containers have numbers, letters, little differences. They have caution painted on the side, stickers, tape, whatever. So when I painted the caution bars on the side, I wanted to make sure that they looked like they were used as well and dirtied up. I think it came out pretty cool. I wanted like a barcode on the side, like a, not barcode, but you know, some numbers and letters on the side to like pretend that it's some sort of tracking number or whatever. But obviously I couldn't make a new number for every single one. That'd be kind of redundant. So what I did was I made some sort of generalized number and then I scuffed it up so you can kind of tell that it's there. You can read it if you really want to, but at the same time, at the corner of your eye, it's not all that legible. But you can imagine that for every single container there's a different number, that kind of thing. However, I did want to make several of them with different colors. Not just your standard gray, but I wanted to make blue, orange, red. But for now, I just made about 4 colors. But I think they turned out pretty damn good, if I say so myself. This entire art project took 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours total. Now, interestingly enough, when I was testing out the flags in KSP, or Kerbal Space Program, there are several different types of, well, not several, but there are a couple different types of methods of creating cargo containers with this flag part. You could go for the square cargo containers, in which case there's only one flat flag. If you scale it up to its highest point, it does create a good sized container. So I could imagine that that would be something that could store things, whether it be like a missiles maybe, or weapons, or it could store vehicles. Another version of cargo containers could be using like ore tanks, right? Then you take the radial flags and make a type of a tubular kind of cargo container, that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool. I think it turned out pretty damn cool. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank you all for being very patient with me as I struggle through overtime in order to get these bills paid off. But as you can see, I'm starting to get things back in schedule here. We're going to start making some videos. Some weekly videos start coming out here pretty soon instead of just streaming. Although everybody loves the streams, but still, videos is where it's at, right? At least that's what YouTube says. So yeah. Anyway, so if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and like it. Share it with all your friends. And if you really like this video, consider subscribing. I also have a membership program. It's set to the bottom dollar. okay? YouTube will not allow me to make a membership thingamajig for free. So I just took the money scale and put it all the way down to the very bottom, which was like 99 cents a month. But if you become a member, you get cool little emojis, neat little badges by your name when you comment. It's pretty cool. Check it out. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for being here again. Love you all. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye-bye.